my parents decided to send me to finish my school education, actually. I was 18. I got married and we moved here and we tried to establish our life in here. Then I went to school while working and I got good grades because I love education. That's what I persisted on my kids to education, because that's the main thing in life. The more you're educated, the better person you are in society, so you can pay back society. I worked and went to school at the same time for over a year. Then I couldn't because I had 2 kids at that time, either school or family. I chose, and I'm glad I chose the right decision. I made the right decision.
Many immigrant families believe it's important to find a way to keep the customs from their homeland alive.
I recall every Saturday and Sunday weekends, whenever we were home or in the summertime, my mom would be preparing breakfast, and breakfast consisted of a traditional Lebanese breakfast. What she would do while preparing that is also put she'd put on the radio Fairuz. Fairuz is a very well-known Lebanese singer, and she has a beautiful voice. And it's more of, she's singing these folklore, yeah, and beautiful morning songs. So what I've always done is, since I've been married and had my kids, is every Sunday or Saturday, if we can get in Saturday and Sunday, I always make a point, no matter what our schedules are, we are going to be having breakfast together, and I will prepare the traditional Lebanese breakfast. I recall taking them to my grandparents' house that live here in Dearborn, and having them be able to share their stories of growing up in Lebanon, or when they first came here and what I was like, and my dad and everything. So just passing on those stories and allowing them to soak that in and appreciate where their heritage is from. I often tell my children they're very lucky because they have the best of both worlds. My husband was born and raised in Lebanon, came here when he was a teenager, similar to my dad's story. He came here to get an education. I, on the other hand, was raised very much American, but very much with Lebanese traditions and culture. So it was like infused, and I'm passing that on to my kids. By the same token, I could address those views or share those that uniqueness of what Dearborn, what we have here in Dearborn, with my fellow residents. And then also, I'm quite vocal about sharing what kind of lifestyle and diversity that we have here in Dearborn outside of Dearborn. I approach it with a positive attitude. I really try to educate. I always tell my kids, and my dad used to tell me the same thing, there's no question that's, as ignorant as it may appear, the fact that they're asking is an opportunity for you to explain and shed some light on. And so, I really take advantage of that.
Some parents are sure that raising their family here in America made a huge difference for their children.
I'm proud of my kids like any other parent. I'm very happy. They respect, in this spot of earth, humans are being respected, I would say, most of the times. I'm happy to be here, to be honest. If I was there, my kids wouldn't have had the opportunity to have that education that they have right now.
My dad is, honestly, Baba, I think you're the ideal immigrant. And what I mean by that is, he really wanted to live the American dream. He wanted us to be American. Just having the rights, the opportunities, the freedom to choose what you want to do, education, go where you want to go, enjoy life. My parents came here young and really worked hard, but we did a lot of the things that any other American family would do. Almost every weekend, my dad would take us to the movies. We're going to watch the latest movie that was coming out. I know that my mom would take us to the Easter egg hunt at Civic Center. And if there were any other holiday traditions going on in the city of Dearborn, my mom was probably, her and her sisters and her friends were one of the first ones to be out there with the kids and giving us that exposure. And my dad made us feel as American as possible, but also wanted to make sure that, hey, don't forget where you came from. You have a lively, exciting story about where your heritage is from, and embrace that and make it part of who you are while still establishing your American roots. And I don't think you can get more American than that. I mean, that's what this country was based on. And so
Exactly.
And I love you for that, Baba. I really do. You've sacrificed so much for us, and we love you for it.
My pleasure.
So that's really how I feel about it.